It's almost
Not
9 bucks.
yet.
Yeah,
Almost.
it's 9 now.
Yep. Yep. All right. I think it's 9. Let's jump into it. Uh, Apple 4 hour. Your voice sucks right now. All right. Let's get into this thing. Futures. We knew this bounce was coming. Even last night charting, we knew that. And this is where we are headed right now, 4054. Pretty much straightforward stuff. And this is where it's going to take a breather. Uh, yeah, so no surprises here. Right about here, good breather spot. I have a lot of resistance coming up, so I'm expecting a breather on this. In fact, breather, how deep of a breather, I don't know. But if it clears here, and after the breather, if it start pushing, then this is where we're looking to go. 4066. Base case is 4052. Good to have is 4066. Not really plotting anything beyond that as of now. 1 hour chart is still looking good, still looking pretty decent. And the 4 hour chart is still looking awesome here. If these were a different set of circumstance, I would be a 100%, I would be a buyer of things here for a long hold. But right now, this is a choppy market. I would want to trade this market, not looking to buy and hold anything. Doesn't matter what it is. uh, Something like a Netflix, something like a Facebook, even something like a Google or Amazon. Those are all very, very, very attractive. Just for example, take a look at Amazon. Just based on the PE and everything, not based on PE, but just based on valuation, the company, if you take the tech arm of Amazon, the AWS arm of Amazon, that itself, is more than what it is trading for right now, and you get the retail business for free. So it's very attractive. The valuations are very attractive on those. But right now, am I looking to open a position to the long side and hold? No, absolutely not. Not doing that.
Quick
So,
note on Amazon. They're
uh
making findings against Bezos and the company itself for illegal influencing of uh, unionization. So they might actually lose all federal contracts,
hmm,
which would hurt the living shit out of
interesting.
their cloud development.
Very interesting. Very interesting. If they lose that, yeah. And there's that Jedi contract that for 10 billion or whatnot that was distributed among 4 or 5 companies. Yeah,
Six,
it's
yeah.
gonna hurt. Yeah, it's gonna
So
hurt
they
them.
might lose. They might lose all that.
Yep,
Possible.
yep, yep. So yeah, there's a note that you need to keep in mind for Amazon. Right. So with this thing, with futures, so on the 1 hour chart, this is what I'm looking for. 4053 is my base case. And a good to have would be 4066. If it clear, I'm looking for a breather here. If that clears, this should be a clear breather. 4067. And beyond that, let's look if that clears. Then you're looking for 4081, then looking for 4095, then perhaps you'll be testing 4127. I think by the time it hits 4127, this would be a stretch. I don't know why people would be buying. This would be just a technical buying. But if it does hit this 4132 level, I think there's going to be a lot of short covering will come into picture. And if in fact it does start to go beyond this 4100 to 4150 level, yeah, then it will spark solid short covering rally. Gamma squeeze will come into picture, and then people will start buying those options to the upside. And this might lose, uh, to the upside, it might pull severely to the upside. And I'm seeing that in the Bitcoin side of things. So the Bitcoin pushing up, we knew this push was coming on Bitcoin as well. And I was just not clear on how big of a push it would be, but we knew the push was coming. We'll see where Bitcoin is going for now. Let's see futures on the daily. So this is the reason, right? So we knew that the five has the price has left at five. So if it actually goes back into five, 40.89, we should be looking for that number. If that clears, then we're looking for a hit of 41.20, whatever this number is. Most likely 41.20, 41.30. So beyond this, I don't know if it starts to clear this and starts pushing higher towards the mean. Well, that mean is a stretch as of now on the daily 42.56. I don't really believe it's gonna be there, but all the signs were there for this bounce. It was getting oversold here, oversold here, oversold. So yeah, and the price itself did leave its five. So expecting this to go back to at least its five, and the five should clear and hit eight. Beyond that, we'll see after what happens. And on the higher time frames beyond daily, we are still looking for a push down. We are still looking for a push down. After this bounce, I'm expecting this to be an ephemeral bounce again. And after that bounce, we will continue most likely into at least into this number 3906. This needs to happen. If it bounces somewhere around of this areas, it's not going to be a good bounce. So either it should have bounced somewhere around 4030 or something like that, or it needs to bounce somewhere around 3900. So this is bouncing off of no good levels. So let's see, let's keep an eye on that. Apple, next let's rush into Apple. Apple, we knew this pretty much. It was going to go here. We knew this. It was going to act as a support. We knew this. That is what exactly is happening right now. And clearly, it is running into resistance here. So now here's where. So this was pretty much given, right? This bounce from here was pretty much given, and it would go into here. This will act as resistance. We all know this. Majority of the market participants understand this stuff. Now what? Now, if it clears here, the 50-day moving average on the weekly, then we are clearly looking for a push into this number right here, 156.76. That's my base case to the upside if it clears right here. If it clears 155 or whatever this 50 on the weekly, if it clears that, my base case is this 156.67. If we clear that, and then I'm looking for 158, and if the short covering starts to happen, then I'm looking at the hit of 200-day moving average on the daily, which is sitting at about 159.75. That would be a monster rally on the street. But after that, am I looking for upside? No, I'm not really looking for an upside after that. But we will reassess the situation as it is unfolding, because a lot of short covering. I see a lot of short covering that needs to happen. That's the reason. And VIX, even yesterday, I kept saying this push down in the markets was not VIX based. It was not induced by a VIX. So VIX clearly coming down from yesterday's highs. I am expecting it to actually push down, perhaps to 32. And on the 4 hour, the mean is sitting at about 30.90. So this pattern or whatever this is, we know this gets overbought, comes right back into the inner Bollinger Band, hits the mean, hits the lower Bollinger Band, start to push down. So next up, 3250. Should that break, we're looking for a push into 3150. Just about here, we will reassess the situation right around here. Not to say that VIX will do that in a straight line. VIX, this is a there might be an ephemeral bounce. This is getting oversold here. So a hit of 32, 33, we might see an ephemeral bounce, but then it has to come back into these numbers. This is what I'm looking for, 31.36 and probably 31.55. So this is how I want to proceed with VIX. Yeah, ephemeral bounce is pretty much sitting there. It has been making a big line here. So yeah, let's see if we can get an ephemeral bounce. Cool thing. Uh, I want to talk about this thing. Where is that? Bitcoin. So I was watching some statistics yesterday, and seems like Bitcoin and Nasdaq. There's a 77 or rather 70 plus percent correlation between these, the Bitcoin and the Nasdaq. So, and I've been saying that every single day about how Bitcoin is moving in lockstep with Nasdaq, and also Al has been saying that. I just did not realize that there is a statistic that is actually somebody creates that data which says that how what is the correlation of Bitcoin to the market, and it is exceptionally on point. 70 plus percent, 70 plus percent correlation between Nasdaq and Bitcoin. And and that's the reason I think we were able to so successfully use Bitcoin to gauge whether it's a risk on or risk off environment. So right now it seems like we're in risk on environment, and if Bitcoin starts to push higher, then we're looking for a push into 33,198, or give or take 33,200, 33,300, let's say 33,300. And if that clears, we are looking for a push into 34,300. This would be a monster rally. 400 points on Bitcoin, 4,000 points on 4 to 5,000 points on Bitcoin. That is, yeah, that is some sort of a rally. From 30,000, it did hit 2970, but let's round it up at 30,000. From 30,000 all the way to 34,500, that is still a huge rally. So let's see how that fares after that. Uh, First test should come here at the 533, 360, somewhere around that. Keep an eye on that area. That should be a breather. If that clears, then we are looking for a push into 8 and a breather there, 34, 500. So let's see how that goes. And there's enough ammo for that to happen. Uh, yep, yep. So here again, this is the test. 36 something. Can it hit there? Yeah, I don't know, but the chances are bright. There are bright chances, and it is bouncing off of a good level here, right? This is bouncing off of a good level. Yesterday, I don't know if you guys heard me talk about that. We were looking for either to the upside, we were looking for 35, and downside, we were looking for 30. So I was saying, which one would we see first? Obviously, we saw 30 first and bounce. And here is the first standard deviation, 33 something. Has to move back into that, and probably after that, we'll look for a push into 36. And that's how I'm going to play that. Okay. let's let's look into SPX. SPX SPY needs to bounce, and it is bouncing. Let's look at and this is a huge monster bounce here for SPY. Yesterday it closed at around about here 295. Okay, this is not NAS. Okay, this is SPY, right? 396 or something. Wow, look at that. 404, and I think it's going to push into 405. This is where I think it's going to take a breather. But after that breather, I still think there's a bit of upside, and it is hitting the mean right now. So my base case, if it clears the mean, is 405.54, and there is enough ammo for that to clear the mean. 405.60, somewhere around this, is my base case. If that clears, then this is my good to have. 407.24, 407.20, whatever this number is. If it clears there, then we'll look for a push into 408 or something. And if the markets were to be open right now, I think they should be trading around about here, somewhere around here, 40, 48. I think the markets would open somewhere around here, 40, 40, 48, 40, 50, somewhere around this range. Uh, 404, yeah, somewhere around this range the market should be open. And I think the immediate push would come into markets around 4086, and then the mean will get hit at 4093. I am still in the camp that is looking for an upside a little bit further into 4100, and then we will reassess the situation at, let's say, 4100, 4093, but let's say 4100. If that clears, then we're looking for a push into 4117, and then 4146 to 4150 is my absolute top. If it clears there, then we will reassess the situation. But for now, this is my base case. 40, right about here, 4074. Then my good to have would be 4100. It's actually 4093, but let's round that up at 4100, and then we'll reassess the situation as and when it clears the mean. Okay, so yeah, 5 is sitting at 4126, then 4161, where 8 is sitting at 4161, right about here. 4115, then 4150. So let's reassess the situation after this happens. On the SPY, I don't know if anybody follows SPY, but 409, then looking a push into 414. 414 perhaps might be a stretch, but still, let's keep an eye on that number as well. But here is the thing that matters most actually. This 295, this was a line in the sand. We had to hit that number for this bounce to happen. And I don't think it actually, I don't know, aftermarket if it did hit or not, I don't know. But if it did not, then it left this thing here. It has to come back and check in with that number. Will that happen today, tomorrow? I don't know. But the theory says it has to come back in and check with that number. And I'm pretty sure it's going to do it at some point in time. Uh, so let's see. Looking for a push, continued push up if it happens. We're looking for 1270, 12170, but right now I'm not really plotting any of that stuff. So let's stick with this chart. Uh, right about here, Q's looking for a push into 306, and if that clears, then we'll look for a push into 308, and then we'll keep on reassessing the situation. So if the markets were open, I think they will be trading somewhere around here, 11,800. So this is a number we are looking for the downside yesterday. Where the heck is that number? Yeah, here. So we were looking for the downside yesterday, 11,800. Most likely it is acting as resistance right about now, 11,800. So if it clears here, I think there's a good bit of upside. If it clears there, then we're looking for a push into most likely 11,800. After 11,800, most likely 1194 at 1200, and the mean is sitting right around 1233 or something. So if that clears, then we'll look for a push into the upside. So right now my good to have would be 1230, and 1190 should be 11,938. This number is my base case. If it clears 11,800 first. So this is where it is struggling right now. If it clears there, then we're looking for a push into 1190, or let's say 11,950. Then we are looking for a push into 1220. And beyond that, we will reassess the situation. And one more interesting thing is, let's go back to the other screen right here. This guy. Well, no, this guy. So this guy, we knew, but per the technicals, it has to come down. We knew that, but it is not good at all. If it starts to come back in, this will create a very different kind of problem. Right now, tech is running high because this thing is coming down. But if this thing continues, this is 10-year when I said this. So 10-year, if 10-year continues down, this will create a whole different set of problems. This should not be happening. This is, if tech is rallying just because the 10-year is coming down, that is not good. That is categorically not good. That bounce will not last long. And if this 10-year continues to slide down, that means there is something wrong with the economy. And as soon as the institutions pick up on this, this is a retail trader right now who is probably short covering the speculators and whatnot. But the big ones, They're not. They understand this stuff. The institutions, they understand this stuff, and as soon as they see 10-year trying to slide down, they figure out that there is something wrong with the economy, and the yield curve inversion is pretty much sitting there. And once that happens, recession is a done deal, right? And we all know what happens to the stock market during the recessions. So yeah, pick your poison kind of thing. I would much rather want to have US 10-year, into 3.1 to 3.2 range. I'll be much more comfortable there rather than 3-year coming back in. 2.89 is, I think, where it is headed right now. There should be an ephemeral bounce around here, 2.93. Then we should be looking for a push into 2.89. So watch for that. Let's push into Tesla. Rob is again playing Tesla, no matter how many times I ask him not to. But he's a big boy. Right. So I think Tesla, after this bounce, still has to come into this number. That's my school of thought right now. Right. At least the 650 needs to happen. Right now it is bouncing, fair enough. And I think it will bounce. It will try to keep bouncing into this number 858 or something. 858 to 863, and should that clear, we'll look for a push into 876. So look for that bounce and look for this. If the market goes soft, look for a short around here between 860 to 880. So looking for that, and Tesla. Let's go Tesla to the lower time frame. Right. So this is already getting overbought, but it's 15 minutes time frame. So a breather here, perhaps, back to 810, then back into 807. If not, if can bounce from here, then we'll see this number 835 to the upside. On this is the chart that I want to be trading everything today. So looking for upside, this is my base case right about here, 822. That clears 826, and this is my good to have about 837. If it clears there, then we'll reassess the situation. Right now, not plotting anything beyond 837 to 840. There's enough ammo for that to get hit real quick. If it does actually get hit, then we're looking for a push into 851. On the 4-hour chart, I believe that is also oversold. Yep. So hit of 5, hit of 8. Then we're looking for a push into 21. I believe there has to be a lot of resistance somewhere around this area. If in fact that clears, then 875 should be it for Tesla. And this would be a monster rally again if that happens. All right, guys. So let's wrap it up here. And if somebody has any ideas, concerns, comments, do let me know. Just unmute yourself and you can talk. Props. Yep. Yep. All right, ladies and gents. So let's move into sanity and good luck.